quite get there. Where is it? 9, 4. There we go. You can even see the beacon there. So and again, you can see where the beacon's right on the edge. It drops off that side. But the other nice thing about it is, if you click up here, oh sorry, click there, you can go full screen. You can click there, and you can go to waterfall as well. So nice little toy. Primarily for David to see, really, but I'm quite chuffed with myself. It's really quite a neat little thing, to be honest. So as a portable analyzer, I guess it's only running off the RTL dongle. So what you can do, by the way, you won't be able to see it, but you can put the offset in there, so the frequency reads right down the bottom here. And I've even done it. It says ports down A27 at the top, just for a bit of a laugh. But anyway, none of my stuff. It's all oh, it's all whited out again, isn't it? Sorry. It's some American guy, WQ7T. So if you want to have a look on the GitHub site, it's on there. But anyway, oh, look at that. Did you see that? That looked like there was a bit of an FM signal coming up there. Anyway, with that, I shall dekey and round to whoever's next. I've forgotten. G7 JTT.
This evening all. It would be. This evening all. It would have been very nice if some of you could have responded on the chat as to whether John's audio was broken. I asked a couple of times. Problem is, if I'm not receiving it, the guys watching the stream don't get it. And on Mini Tuner we didn't get hardly any audio from John. I don't know if you checked your compatibility with Mini Tuner, John. I did try running VLC in the background, and that was a little bit better, but not much. So apologies to the guy on the stream, and it would have been good if other people could have reported it if they were having problems, because if not, it's something this end. Anyway, evening all, and evening to everybody, both on the stream and that's very useful. I can receive direct null. What does that mean? You can or you can't? Yeah, John, can you check your compatibility with Mini Tuner? Unless anybody else, because the problem is Longmin's no good to do the stream. John and Jim both have audio cutting out. Yeah, I think, guys, you need to audio is okay with Mini Tuner, so I don't know what the problem is in that case. Processor on the streaming machine was at about 65%, but it can normally handle that. And I did try auto pitting it a couple of times. It didn't make any difference. So if anybody's got any ideas, the problem with Longmin is problem is we use a Mini Tuner for the stream, and the reason why we do that is so people can see the dashboard in the MER and the diagnostics, because I think it makes it more interesting than just having a blank picture. So I don't know. I mean, my audio sounds okay off it, so I don't know quite why other people, or some stations do, some stations don't. And I guess it's if people aren't checking their compatibility with Mini Tuner. That's yeah. So if anybody's got any bright ideas for that one next time round, it'd be good to have, because as I say, otherwise the guys watching the stream aren't getting any audio. In fact, there's 31 watching the stream. Okay, alright, what's been going on here? Mainly preparation for the contest in 10 days time. The shack looks a bit busier because of that. 5.6 gig gear has ended up on the bench again, having been out and been tested at the weekend. It's now is being used as a source for audio, because I'm playing around with the beta release of Portstown, where it's using it to receive the audio and video, or using it to display the audio and video from the 5.6 gig FM stuff. So it's quite a nice update there. The other thing on the bench is the 13.7 PA. Obviously not the Oscar 100 watt PA, but that's a stealth that I use for terrestrial. Not doing any major surgery, just tidying the interface up. The big bit at the bottom is the heatsink. The bit in the middle is the stealth amplifier, and the bit on the top is just some interface components and actually a receive converter. So it's all tidied up, or tidying up. So that's all heading towards the contest in 10 days time. And I would really urge any UK stations to try and do something. It's our one and only ATV of the year, so it'd be good to have some people on. As you can see, got the Portstown there displaying its output on the big screen as well, on the composite video output. That's what's going on there. Because we can also use the Portstown on the Raspberry Pi output to generate 5.6 gig video. So that's the plan. So there we are. That's I think that's pretty much it from here now. But apologies again to the guys on the stream that you didn't get any audio last time round. And yes, there's a cup of tea to be drunk. Right, I'll leave it for now. Whoever's next in the queue, probably Sean. Over to you.
Right, let's check we're in. Right, let's check we're in. Right, a very good evening to everybody, and it's a lot cooler here the last couple of days, which is quite a relief, I have to say. Okay, on the audio there, Noel. I've had no trouble this evening with just about everyone, but I find that I do need to click auto PID from time to time, and sometimes it will run for several minutes quite well, and all of a sudden it will start to break up and become a little bit intermittent. And so clicking auto PID usually restores it. Sometimes I have to click graph reset as well. That sometimes helps. So so there we are. That's my thoughts from this end. This week I've been working on the Spectrian board. Actually, I've had the Spectrian 75 watt amplifier board in the drawer for over a year now, and because I was given a stealth amplifier, which is what I'm using at present, and that was ready to go, I concentrated on that one, but I thought it was time to get the stealth out of the drawer and have a play with it. So I've got it set up on a heat sink and connected up, and actually put the power on this afternoon and ran it for the first time, and it's working very well, and much to my surprise, in fact, I'm getting 40 watts out of it without any modifications whatsoever. I know a lot of people have had to do a lot of tuning and modifications to get this to
the Spectrum to work on the satellite band, but mine is doing quite well, and as I said, it's giving about 40 watts at the moment, so I'm hoping that I will get some more out of it. I'm going to divert in the next week onto building a driver amplifier. I've bought both of the AMSAT kits, the 5 watt driver amplifier kit, and I've built that, and that's working very well, and that's in line at the moment. And I'm also got the smaller 200 milliwatt kit with a filter in it, so I think I'm going to build that next, and the combination of that and the 5 watt one I think will drive the Spectrum very well. So there we are. That's everything from this end. So only 40 watts. Well, that's without any modifications, mind you, Mike. That's just as it comes. I'm sure it'll drive a bit more. I mean, G4BBK told me he only got 20 watts out of his before he had to start modifying it. Okay, that's everything from this end. So I'll just have the one over this evening, and I will pass it back to our chairman now, Dave G8 GKQ, to take it from G8 VPG in Bristol.
That's clearly working then. Good. Thank you very much for all your contributions. Audio issues. Audio is an ongoing problem with the ports down. The issue, particularly with the C920, which John was using, is the C920 audio sample rate is 32 kilohertz, but the ports down encoding software wants 48 kilohertz. So I re-encode it, but it doesn't do it as well as it might do. I'll write more about that in due course, but it's just something that's beyond me, is getting this audio right every time. And it's particularly the Windows player that has an issue with it. I've been using long mind or mini tuner and long mind all evening, not missed any audio at all. So it's the Windows players that seem to be the problem. Jim, good to see you new PAs coming along there. Jen, we'll come back to you in a moment. You were clearly showing off your 5.7 gigs, which didn't succeed in doing, so I'm really pleased that John's done that work, and I'll be trying to sweep that into the bus to build the ports down in due course. The one thing I didn't mention on the audio is the one thing that usually cures it for me is pressing graph reset. That's the one that usually kickstarts it back into life. Mike, I think Sean was talking about his Spectrum, not his stealth. Yeah, I've got the stealth 47 can do about 40 watts, just about, but I think he was talking about Spectrum. Oh, 40 watts from the Spectrum are modified. Okay. Right. What have I been doing? Just quick go around the shack. Again, it's contest related. Please can I ask everybody to try and get on in the contest next weekend. We really do need to get some good entries in. Noel and I will be out both days with all bands from 2 meters up to 24 gigs, and I think Noel will have 76. What I've been doing is this. Stay? Yes. Sorry about the move around. This is my palette that I use for 2.4 and 3.4 gigs. That's got the stealth for 3.4. What I'm just putting on it is this relay here to do all the switching to the multi-band feed on the dish. So this 6-way teledyne switch, one input will be the stealth, one input will be the 3.4 gig LNB, another input will be the 2.4 gig LNB, which is that fella. Another input will be this 1900 meg stealth that gives about 7 watts on 2.4 gig. And the last input to be connected will be the 5.7 gig transmitter. And I've The other thing I've been working on is a update for the Portsdown. Hence why the shack is in total disarray, and Noel was testing that, but it gives, sorry, going outwards, it gives an audio out feed from the, I need a cameraman. It gives an audio out feed from the C920 and a video out feed, so that can be used on 5.7 gigs. And clears up a few audio issues not related to receive, but related to switching up between the USB dongle as an output and the Raspberry Pi jack as an output. So that's what's been going on here. Let's go background to Jim again then, and then we'll go to Jen with his microphone on. So Jim G0DQH, take it from GHGKQ and the BATC Net.
Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, just turn the volume down so I don't hear myself going back from the satellite. Not a lot to add, but this just bring myself up a minute so you know how much who you're talking to, or I'm talking to rather. This is a photo of the lens. It's a little bit easier to look at, but that was out of the inverter. That piece of copper cost nearly 50 quid from Southampton, but there are two fans on one end, and the one you see is actually going to suck the hot air out. The driver PA is there to the right, and the black box is the bias supply for it, and all that went into when the picture comes up. I went into that, so there's quite a bit of work involved in that. But it actually all works, which is good. Good evening to Barry down there in Barnstable, if you're watching tonight, Barry. So that's the new PA, the original PA, if I can find it. This next picture is a picture of the driver PA that I'm going to use. This is a Jim Smith's design. I've etched the boards, and the case for that came off the internet, which was about £14, but beautifully milled out and absolutely perfect for the job, and it all works extremely well. If I can get back to the original PA, here we are. This is a picture of the Spectrian, and this was a picture of when I started working on it before it went into the cabinet. And it's at the moment what I'm actually using is inside the cabinet. It's been working reasonably well. It's been there nearly a year, but the plan is to put the new PA in the garage and run the Andrews Heliax out to the dish, which is 14 meters in length. So I've had it working temporarily about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't really done much to it since, because we've had the guys in to redo the ceilings on the landing downstairs and in the kitchen. So I've been busy painting those, so that's all done. And I ordered this really nice LED lamp for the kitchen from Germany, and it was faulty. So we're waiting for its replacement at the moment. Okay, that's about it. And there we are. And I'll maybe catch up with you all again next Thursday, all being well. Okay, G0DQH.
Hi everybody, sorry about the microphone last time. I trust you can hear me okay. Right, that's better. Oh dear, trying out a new bench mic and I forgot to switch the thing on. Anyway, so G4HIZ returning this time with audio, and that was very interesting, Jim, to see your PA construction. I know that copper is very expensive. I bought some myself recently and cost a fortune. Yeah, I was trying to describe earlier on my PA, which I'm setting up for 5.7 gigs, as Dave identified. So it's a Ferranti PA, and the one thing I did discover about it is it generates quite a lot of heat, and that's because for the 10 watts out, it gives out about 10 watts for about 1 dB compression, and it does go up a bit more, but in fact to generate the 10 watts it takes in about 90 watts, so there's about 80 watts of wasted heat in my case anyway. So I've got it sitting on a big heat sink at the moment, and what I did was some experiments to reduce the power supply voltage to see what the effect was, and I went down to 9 volts from 12, and the power dissipation went down significantly. The power output dropped to about 8.7 watts, I guess, and looking at the spectrum, the modulation envelope got slightly worse at the lower voltage. I think the shoulders are about -35 down compared to -40 otherwise. Anyway, so hoping to box it up in the near future and get it working on 5.7 gigs. Made an interesting discovery the other day about stealth amplifier. I've used the 2.4 gig version in my portable system and tuned it up and so on. It was a 25 watt amplifier and I got 30 watts out of it at the end of the day. It was actually a 2.5 gigahertz one which I tuned down. So I had a look around in my other stealth amplifiers, and I've got another one here. It's marked what is it, SM1920, and I thought, well, that's too low in frequency. If I can just put it up by the camera. And funny thing is, I took the lid off and it has exactly the same active devices as the higher frequency version. It doesn't have the circulator in it that the 2.4 gig one has, but all the transistors look to be the same, and I might try and retune that one up to 2.4 as well. The only thing is that the tuning is done using silver paint by the looks of it, so I've got to work out how to remove the silver paint from the tuning stubs inside. Okay, great. Well, nice to be on the net again tonight, and I'll say 73s to everybody, and look forward to seeing you all next week, and I'll pass it on to whoever's
Right, sorry for the delay. Tuesday everyone, JW. I'm watching on the streamer, and I was listening to Jan, and I hadn't noticed he'd gone off because of the big delay. But hopefully there's a signal coming out now. If not, complain. I can't see anything on the streamer yet. But I can see I'm putting out power, and I can see a signal on the waterfall. So whether that's working or not, I have no idea. And it's a long, long time to wait. Right. Anyway, so you'll have had a bit of a waffle there. What I was going to do was show you this picture, which is the you do. And the interesting thing is that when I looked at it, this is without even bothering to calibrate the thing, it came out with this, which is sort of a textbook plot for what I expected to get. So quite pleased with that. But anyway, that's really all I've got to show, apart from the what do we call this thing? The long wind. Yes, I will be using the relays, so hopefully it'll be possible to use enough of them, but I'm hoping to control them. I might have to write my own software, I guess, to allow me to use my own configuration, but the plan is to have at least 6 relay lines to switch stuff, one for each band, probably 7. But it's working very nicely on 2 meters, and there's no filters or anything in this, so it shouldn't really be working. But at some point I'll put the filters and the amplifiers in there, but they'll go in other boxes, because I realised that if I want to run multiple SDRs, I would need multiple filters and amplifiers rather than having them in separate boxes. But working very well. So just a few more bits and pieces to wire up, and there we go. Right, so back to the normal pictures. 7-3 everybody, and hopefully by next week I'll have worked out what's gone wrong with the receiver, because it seems to be completely dead. So I suspect in the heat of the summer it might have, the summer that finished a couple of days ago, it might have burnt out in some way. The receive signal, or more likely it's gone back to the other band, so it's gone to V rather than H, or H rather than V, whichever it is, and I need to get it set up right so that it's receiving. So I'm just going to have a look at that, but I can't.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, audio appears to be working here, Noel. Hopefully you're able to receive me. Okay, right, I'll go through it again then. So this is WQ7T pan adapter. It used to say that along there, but I've changed it. Basically it's set up as a pan adapter for any radio you want to stick into it, basically, but it appears that you can get it up to 3 meg bandwidth. That's the edge of the beacon now. I've just been watching some activity down here. Anyway, but so one of the things you can do, this is the spectrum, obviously. You've got your menus and bits and pieces here. You can scroll up the band quite easily. So that's the 66 and a whatever it was next to him. So you can see it's quite good enough for TV. Cool, blimey, I don't know what's going on there, but anyway. So you can see it's more than adequate to see some signals. If you want to lower the noise floor, you can just go up there. That takes it up. That takes it down. They're actually labelled wrongly. Actually, the way it's right and what it's saying, it kind of does the opposite to what you want it to do. So what else have you got? Right, so you can go full screen as well. If you click on there, you can go to your waterfall, which is pretty useful, really. Certainly if you're looking for weak signals, you can see it. And then you've got your frequency down there, which I know you can't see, but just bear with me. So that actually reads true because I've actually put the offset in there. So if you go to setup, that's the center frequency. You've got the zoom facility on there, so you can zoom into stuff. So you've actually got your sample rate at 2.8 megs, so it's 2.8 megs across. It will go up to 3 megs, but it seems to be a little bit iffy. The waveform's not great. But anyway, so you can set it to 2.8, and then you can zoom in as well. So you can actually change that down to tens of kilohertz if you want to. The tune rate's really useful because on the wideband side of it, I've got it set to 125 kilohertz, so that you just jump up. You don't need much finer than that. And then the offset, I've got it as minus 9750 because I ain't bothered to set it up properly. The FTT average I've got as 100, and then you can just set your minimum, maximum dB range and the gain. You've also got swap IQ. I find you've got to use false. It's because some of the radios, like my FT, was it 9897, when it comes reversed, so you need to reverse the IQ to get it to go right, and then you've got peak or average basically. So that's all your settings. But it was quite easy to get going by just disabling a couple of lines. I don't know what I've done, by the way. I've probably ruined everything in there, but I kept getting an error for something, so I just remmed the line out, and all of a sudden it started working, so I wasn't going to complain. Oh, that's the other thing actually. You've got in there as well all the different filters. So Hammond, Han, Blackman Harris, blah 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 blah. So a brilliant little piece of software, to be honest. I'm really chuffed with it, and on the 7-inch it really does go quite nicely. So and that's just to say, with a cheap and cheerful RTL dongle thing connected to an LNB, and you're getting all that come out of it. So hopefully that came across okay this time. Let's see, where's the signals at this end? So that's an awful, well, that's a couple together there. So there you go, yeah. So that's just the edge of the beacon there. That's the 1 meg symbol, and that's the 66. So, and again, you can move the noise floor up or down accordingly. Anyway, hopefully that came across this time. Graph reset seems to fix the problem. Oh, right, okay. Should have been reading that as well, shouldn't I? So with that, I shall dekey and pass it round to, forgot who's next again, sorry. Just to quickly update you, I've said before, but I'm working 7 days a week at the moment, and my brain, it loses contact with what day of the week it is. So short-term memory seems to be getting worse. I don't know if that's a side effect of working all these hours or not, I don't know. Anyway, with that, I shall dekey and pass it around to the next person. G7 JTT. Well, there is a test card there somewhere, but I daren't move anything because everything's balanced.
Okay, well that one seemed to work okay. we actually got all that. I found that pressing the graph reset did the trick. But as Dave said, it's definitely a sampling stroke timing issue, and it seems to build up. The errors seem to build up, and then Mini-Tuner can't handle it anymore. But graph resets seem to fix it. So good. Okay. It's all right. Just sorry, the streaming PC is up there. I'm just doing a quick. Seems I've got itself stuck in 16:9 for some reason. What else? Yeah, one of the things I have been doing actually is rebuilding the portable system. I've gone for a system now where I run two 12-volt batteries to give me 24 volts, and then a down converter to take it back down to 12 volts, and that means that you never get the problem of you never go down to the 11 volt stuff. So hopefully that will do the trick. I was telling Dave and John earlier that I bought a 24 to 12 volt down converter rather than buying all of the cheap Chinese ones that happen to be a half reputable make, Pife, on eBay, second-hand one, which I bought. And when it actually, that's a good point, I can show you. When it arrived, it didn't work. The guy claimed it was working and had been using it as a test equipment and stuff, and it didn't work. It just didn't produce anything. So I peered inside, and this was supposed to be a brand new unit. I don't know if you can see that, but it's clear an electrolytic has gone pop and charred everything. So anyway, I went back to the guy and luckily got a refund, and I bought another one. So there we go. Only one other thing to show. These 5.7 gig amplifiers are quite common, Jen. Dave's got an identical one, and lo and behold, you probably recognise that as well. Now, interestingly, mine when I bought it had it was tested in 2012 on 5760, and it ran 16 watts at 8 amps. I haven't actually managed that, but I agree with you. You do have to put an awful lot in to get very little out. They're pretty inefficient, and it does get very hot. And so that whole metal plate you can see it sitting on is a massive, great big heat sink, and I've actually got a fan on the back to blow it. So yeah, there'll be at least two of those. And just out of interest, the just above it is the LNA, which is a Franco, one of the 10 gig Franco boards, which has been modified to work on 5.7 gigs. And that seems to work quite well. There's actually two stages in there, and it then gets, now I've got two stages in there. I then put it into a splitter, which means I can drive the narrowband receiver and the wideband FM receiver at the same time. So there we are. Anyway, that's everything. So the shack will just about still be in one piece for next Thursday, but then Friday will be spent ripping it apart and putting it into the portable shack. So should be fun. Right, I'll say good night to everybody, and good to see you all on, and we'll catch you again next week. Gee.
Okay, thanks, Noel. We seem to be just in shop there, and that's what I've been watching the whole net on tonight, is on Portstown A27 on the Langston there. So I've got 77s and 146 in there. It's tight, too tight, but it's in there. I still need to build a few more bits. Hasn't got any low pass filters on the output yet, and needs that. But anyway, it's all in there. No power supply, it just goes straight in on 12 volts. So that keeps the heat budget down a bit. John, not knowing what day of the week it is, it seems to be a common complaint for me at the moment. When I worked a 7-day week, which I did for a couple of months, we did actually have a different routine on Sunday to try and make sure a different routine on Sunday to try and make sure we knew what day of the week it was. And my approach on the portable side is currently to run everything on 11 or 12 volts. Most things are happy up to 13.8, but try and leave things on 11 or 12. During the overs there, I was just digging out some metal work to try and bolt this stealth down. It's not going to be brilliantly a brilliant thermal design, but only needs to work for short overs in the contest. Right. So, same time, same place next week. Lightning hole my shackle just about being one piece before it gets put in the car for the contest. Please don't forget to put all your contacts tonight from tonight